Karl Nell unveils the plan for UFO disclosure at the Soul Foundation. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, check this out. This is per Mike Calangello referencing this Reddit post. Okay, so there was this leaked slide from the Soul Foundation with a presentation by Karl Nell, who, of course, many people, including myself, hope will be the new director of Arrow once the lovely Sean Kirkpatrick and his deputy director are out of there. Yeah, so as a deputy director, Tim Phillips. Anyway, so reading from the Reddit post, because the slide was already posted and mostly figured out by now, I figured I'd post the clean text of the data. They didn't allow photos, but notes were allowed. The full videos will likely be a week or two, as they need to get approval from each speaker on their videos before posting. I don't feel like anything was said that would warrant cutting. Colonel Nell didn't spend long on explaining the disclosure timeline slide. The UFO disclosure timeline slide. There's a slide for UFO disclosure. As he was running out of time after having talked extensively on the Schumer Amendment and what it entails, he did not discuss the veracity of the slide, but spoke of it as if it was the logical progression of successful slow disclosure and not some sort of master plan by the men in black. He talked briefly about us being nearly into phase 1 and then how each of the fields would need to be involved and eventually come together to handle this. Phase 2 was academia comes in and begins to look at the wider problem. The Gang of Eight, as he's calling the new U.A.P. Oversight Board, will sunset in 2030. Isn't there already a Gang of Eight? He skipped over most of it. And so far, I'm not real happy with the Oversight Board, or at least the two people put out there by Danny Sheehan. Hopefully we'll get some better names on that, not former CIA directors that have put out disinformation before. But yeah, let's see. Here we go. Text version of Karl Nell's slide from the Soul presentation. Phase 0, shaping. NIDS, ALSAP, ATIP, DOD, video release, 2017 New York Times article, and the UAP task force. That's phase 0. Now, I would love to know if he meant any of this was planned as some sort of, organized effort. I don't see any of that as planned. It's hard to, wrap your head around the idea of Skinwalker Ranch, which is ground zero for all this, ALSAP. ATIP came out of ALSAP, and ALSAP was largely about Skinwalker Ranch. It's hard to imagine any sort of organized UFO disclosure that would include Skinwalker Ranch, with its cryptids and poltergeist activity and portals, in addition to UFOs. But moving on, Phase 1, beginning in January 2024, demonstrate existence. What? They're going to demonstrate the existence of UFOs? What? Public sector, government, policy, law, national security, IA. After disclosure in yellow. Philosophical investigation, humanities, ethics, anthropology, sociology, religion. So yeah, the philosophical and social implications of all of this will be part of that. As Karl Nell sees it. Scientific research, natural sciences, physics, chemistry, material science, biology. Man, I can't wait for the videos to come out about these presentations, if there are any, or at least more detailed breakdowns, a text of exactly what he said, because we have the bullet points here, but I would really love to know what he said about each bullet point. Private sector. Industry and society, intellectual property, industry, economics, trade, data approach, persistent. We need persistent data, I guess. Analytic approach, proactive. Okay, all right. Well, we do need proactive analytics. Man, I really wish we could get some expounding on these bullet points. Okay, then it skips ahead 2 years to January 2026, Phase 2, Correlate Signatures, DA Interactive Data Approach, and AA Reactive Analytic Approach, and O Hypothesis Generation. Okay, and then we're moving ahead to October 2030. Now, why October 2030 and not January? Is there something specific about October 2030? Phase 3, Characterize Performance, Forensic Predictive Integrated. Phase 4, Determine Nature, Scientific Discovery Objective, Government Acceptance, Academic Acceptance. So we're going to have acceptance of all of this by 2034, according to this timeline. Now, I would like acceptance a lot sooner than that. How are we going to get scientists to study the Nazca mummies if it's not accepted? If there's still going to be this stigma attached to all of this. So, it's very frustrating that that's what he sees as the timeline. But, I guess, he is saying there's going to be acceptance at some point in the not too distant future. So, I guess that's something. Phase 5, Engagement. Public acceptance. 5 W's answered. I don't know what that means, 5 W's. Strategic end state. Strategic end state. What? An end state to all of this. What in the world? Blue section on the right. Strategic end state. Proper oversight restored. Okay, I guess that means it's going to be taken out of the hands of the control group, or at least oversight of the control group is going to be restored. I guess that's what he's talking about. Catastrophic disclosure avoided. Okay, all right. So no public unrest or whatever, or destabilization of the economies and society. Scientific understanding advanced. Okay, well, that is really, really interesting. But very frustrating. I want to know what he said about each of these bullet points then, what this means. Why do we have to wait to 2034 for general acceptance in the government and in academia? Is phase 0 shaping? Was that in any way intentional? What does he mean by all of this? So Ross Coulthard apparently is going to do a recap on the Soul Foundation, weekend. So I can't wait for that. Hopefully he'll have a little greater insight into this. It is kind of funny, though, that Karl Nell was rushed in talking about UFO disclosure, the plan for UFO disclosure. He didn't have time for that. Too busy talking about the Schumer Amendment, which, of course, is very important, and I'm sure that's a very key part of all of this, since he sees this beginning in January, when, the NDAA should be all signed and the Schumer Amendment should be in place, should be active in January. So, can't, and obviously he's talking about the Gatekeeping Committee, calling it the Gang of Eight, which is maybe not the best name, because isn't there already a Gang of Eight? Anyway, but yeah, fascinating stuff, guys. There is a plan for UFO disclosure, and it is being discussed by Karl Nell, who could become the next director of AARO. I love it, guys. But let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure do appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to share this video on social media, that'd be super groovy. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, you could buy a t-shirt or a coffee mug, see the merch store below, or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.